the the one thing, the one of the conspiracy which I cannot even, I mean, I cannot even digest is like, birds aren't real. I mean, do you, I mean,
Ah, uh, observe.
mm-hmm.
I'm even wearing my birds aren't real t-shirt.
Oh, so you
I
believe?
love birds aren't real. Well, here's the thing. So birds aren't real. Started off in January 2017 in Memphis, Tennessee. A student, I think he was a history student named Peter McIndoe, was there as part of the 2017 Memphis Women's March for reproductive rights and can we finally get paid the same as men and things like this. This is literally the same month that Donald Trump was sworn in as president. So a lot of people were like, "Hey, this is a guy who's I mean he's been accused of rape, and now he's president. What's going to happen for women's rights in this country?" So he's a young liberal guy. He went, and over there, here's his group, but over there is a group of pro-Trump anti-protesters holding up all kinds of signs with really outlandish conspiracy theories even on them. So as a joke, he walked over, grabbed a blank sign and wrote, "Birds aren't real," and stood with the pro-Trumpers and held it up. Well, there were news people there, and they saw this, and they were like, "Oh, does someone actually think birds aren't real? That's hysterical. How stupid are these Trump people?" And so it took off. It got talked about on the news. Videos of it went viral on YouTube. It was just a joke. And then after
It,
this, it
sometimes
was
the
just a
jokes,
joke.
yeah, sometimes the jokes can
Yeah.
be a conspiracy as well, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So he decided to lean into it. So he created Birds Aren't Real. And
Mm-hmm.
he created a whole story
Do
about
you, have you
how all
have you
birds
cover,
were
have you covered this thing in any of your
killed.
episode? Have you spoken about this in any
Yeah,
of your
it's
episode?
part of an episode. Yeah. Episode 9,
Mm-hmm.
just before Denver Airport, is called Now You See It, Now You Don't. Finland doesn't exist. The country of Finland does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's talked about in there. There's another conspiracy theory that says Australia doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's also talked about in there.
Mm-hmm.
And birds aren't real is talked about in there
Mm-hmm.
because all of these started off as jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then somewhere along the way, somebody started believing them. Now, I don't believe there's anybody who believes birds aren't real
Mm-hmm.
is real. Everybody who, like me, I love it. I have a t-shirt. I will probably buy more things from Birds Aren't Real because I think it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But and the story he's written is wonderful. The website is fantastic. It's so complicated. It looks just like a real conspiracy website
Mm-hmm.
because he's doing something called culture jamming. He's trolling the conspiracy people. He's
Mm-hmm.
making something that looks exactly like a real conspiracy theory,
Mm-hmm.
except that it's so clearly preposterous, except that so is reptilians.
Mm-hmm.
So is, you Avril Lavigne was replaced by a body double or a clone. So is everything we've talked about in here is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
More ridiculous than birds aren't real? Not really. So he just kind of runs with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's become this whole thing to the point where when somebody says in a news article or an interview, "Yeah, I love Birds Aren't Real. It's such a great satire of
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy theories," he gets angry and says that person is working for Big Bird. The
Mm-hmm.
because the whole idea is I don't know if you know what it is. All birds were killed by the U.S. government,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the
a war
conspiracy is
against birds,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they were replaced with surveillance drones.
Huh, huh, huh.
Yeah.
So
So every time you see a bird in North America, it's a camera.
mhm.